Clicking a computer mouse, one of the simplest things millions of people do each day. But what if you could turn those clicks into cash? Give me 5 minutes and I'll show you how it can be done, how thousands are doing it, and reaching a daily goal of generating $500 a day, turning clicks into cash. I'm Mel Hardman. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can join the thousands of us who do this every day. You'll learn what an e-mini is and why you've probably never heard of it before. I'll show you how easy it is to learn and when you can expect to start seeing good results, turning your mouse clicks into cash.
Working from home, a little home business. Two ideas that are very popular nowadays. May I show you an idea that I will demonstrate for you in a moment that has to be the best little home business idea ever. Trading little e-mini contracts for just an hour or two each day. Here's a business that you can get into with only $400 in your trading account. You'll need the internet, a computer, and a mouse.
I think you'll agree with me that most folks, providing they have at least one hand, should be able to do this. Here's something about using your computer and the mouse that I'll bet you've probably never heard of. I've been doing this nearly every weekday morning since early 2002. I found this worked so well that I literally changed careers back in 2002. Best decision I ever made. It allowed me to be my own boss and have both time and money to enjoy things so many can only dream of.
Let me show you what e-mini trading could do for you. Anyone, regardless of their station in life, could benefit from this. If you would like to try a work-from-home idea, e-mini trading offers outstanding opportunities.
In a moment or two, I'll show you how turning clicks into cash works. It's the e-mini that makes it possible. Since its introduction in the stock market in 1997, it has changed so many lives, including my own. I think this could work so well for our wounded warriors or any others who may have physical limitations or simply just can't find a decent job. I'll show you how this idea works, but first, I'll preview for you some of my daily results, and then I'll show you how we e-mini traders execute our trades. As I mentioned, since early 2002, I've been an e-mini trader. Now, you're probably saying exactly what I said when I first heard that word. What's an e-mini? It was a young lady trader I met at a seminar in Las Vegas who told me about e-minis. The seminar was about the traditional theme, long-term investing in stocks. She asked me if I knew about trading e-minis. I had been actively involved trading stock options on my home computer with good success. But when she showed me the advantages the e-mini offers, how it beats stocks hands down, I immediately changed, even changed careers. I left radio broadcasting and TV production for this new 2-hour-a-day job, if you can call clicking a mouse a job. Now, I realize that if you know something about the stock market or investing, you're probably surprised and even a little skeptical. You probably have never heard stories of this kind of daily cash flow from the stock market before. I do need to tell you, though, that is, remind you that any kind of involvement in the stock market always carries risk. One can lose their money investing or trading in the market. I am not offering any kind of investment advice. I simply show and teach trading techniques and show you tools for trading e-minis. Then each person applies his or her choice of techniques to execute each and every one of their own trade decisions.
If this is totally new to you, let's take a moment or two and I'll point out the differences between trading a stock versus trading e-minis. Both charts will feature candlesticks. Up the right side of the chart will be the price scale. If we're trading a stock, the right side column will be in dollars and cents. Trading e-minis, though, we are trading contracts rather than stock shares, and the number scale on the right side of the chart will be the index number for the entire exchange index. You hear on the news every day what the Dow has done, whether it's up or down. What is commonly referred to as the Dow is a weighted index of the market price of the 30 largest publicly traded companies listed on the New York Stock Exchange. There are 500 companies on the S&P, 100 on the NASDAQ. The index the E-mini was first attached to, actually it's attached to several of the other exchanges. First, though, was the S&P 500. Then the NASDAQ adapted E-mini trading, followed by several others. An index is a scale up the right side of the market chart. Instead of dollars and cents, we capture points or fractions of a point called ticks. In most cases, a tick is a quarter of a point, 4 ticks per point. We E-mini traders think in ticks, not dollars. In most markets, a tick has a $5 value when it shows up in your account. I often tell friends, once you've traded E-minis, you'll never want to trade stocks again. That E-minis beat stocks hands down. Let me show you why. For instance, here's a chart of Ford Motor stock.
Here on this date, November 13th, 2014, Ford Motor opened at $14.70. During the day, it traded up to $15.19 per share, but it didn't hold. It dropped back and closed for the day at $14.92 per share. Now, if I were trading Ford stock with my indicators, this is where I would have entered a trade, at $14.58 on Wednesday, November 12th. I would have stayed in this trade, based on what the candles are showing me, until up here at $15.58 on November 19th, a week later. So from $14.58 to $15.58, I would have made $1 per share. How many shares would I have needed to have had in the trade or on the trade to make $500? 500 shares of Ford stock. And to have bought them in order to sell them at a higher price, I would have had to have in my trading account $7,290
At risk.
Actually, to trade stocks, federal law requires a minimum $25,000
Cash.
to be maintained in your account. Now, contrast that to the minimum to trade E-minis, $2,000.
Trade the micro E-mini with only $400.
Now let's compare the return rate on an E-mini versus this stock trade. On the Ford Motor stock trade, we would have made $500 with $7,290 of capital. That's an ROI, a return on investment,
Of 6%.
and we were in the trade. This is the daily chart for Ford, 5 days, but actually it was a calendar week. 5 trading days in the same trade.
For $500.
Now, let's go back to our E-mini chart.
I never risked more than 2 to 5% of my account on any one trade.
On this trade, I made $300. I made another $300 here, but on this first trade of the morning, I made $570. The total for the morning after commissions, $1,125 for 2 hours of watching the chart and clicking my mouse. Now you see why I tell my students that once you trade E-minis, you'll never go back to trading stocks.
Just a reminder.
Since we are trading E-minis, we are trading the index numbers, the composite values of large groups of stocks. The S&P 500 index, it was the first market to adopt the E-mini back in August 1997. Why haven't you heard of E-minis before, you might ask? Well, do you think stockbrokers and mutual fund managers would ever tell their clients about doing their own trading with E-minis? Not on their lives. They maintain total silence about E-minis and self-trading. Now, there are half a dozen or more markets that E-mini traders can trade. My particular favorite,
The NASDAQ 100, the NQ, and the Russell 2000, the RTY.
That being said, let me now show you how the computer gets us into a trade.
When the chart shows us a good trade opportunity is setting up, we click the mouse and our computer gets us in.
Order filled.
We usually have our exit point, our profit target, pre-selected and set in the software so that when the market hits our target, the computer closes the trade.
Target filled.
I love that sound, the most beautiful sound that ever comes out of my computer. It tells me that I've just made $300. I had 3 contracts on the trade and captured 10 ticks or 30 total ticks. Each tick in the TF market is worth $10. 30 times 10 equals $300. On the other side of the trade, we also preset the maximum amount of risk we are willing to take on the trade.
We'll take a short trade.
Order filled.
If the market suddenly turns against us and reaches what we call our stop loss, the maximum amount of risk we are willing to take on the trade, the computer closes the trade for us, minimizing our loss. Voice in the computer would then call out,
Stop filled.
We don't like to hear that. But we just nonchalantly take it as one of our costs of doing business and start watching for the next trade opportunity coming along. Here are a few more of my daily results. Remember, there is no guarantee that you will do this well, but then you could, providing you put forth the effort to learn and master the skills necessary for reading a live chart and clicking your mouse in reaction to what the live market is showing you.
I'll zoom in so you can see close up details of a couple of trades. Both of these were short trades while the market is going down. I add the white boxes with all the data inside after the trade is complete, so I'll remove them, leaving just the data the computer prints on the chart. When I see the market is showing a nice trend down, as in this case, and the direction is supported by my other indicators, all saying down, all saying to go short, I click the mouse here to enter at what I call a breakout, which is well supported by all 5 of the indicators. But as can happen, the market turns against me, and I had to finally hit the close button with just a small loss. Then, a few minutes later, another nice breakout, with the market again well into resuming its downward move. I click to enter short again, but this time the market hit my 6-point target, 72 ticks, a nice winner. With 3 contracts on the trade, my profit was 72 ticks at $5 each. That's $360 on one trade. Now, if you're asking yourself, how could he make a profit selling up there and buying down here? It's very important that you understand just how shorting the market works. Let me briefly show and explain it. If investing in stocks is your only background, you know that buy low and sell high is the only thing that works for investors. The difference between what you paid to buy a stock when the price was down here and what you received when you sold it after the price had risen up to here is obviously your profit. Now, in doing a short, we sell something we don't even own, someone else's Ford stock that we, in a sense, borrow temporarily in order to sell it. The money we get goes into our account, but we are obligated to buy that stock or E-mini contract back. We have to buy it back in order to close the trade. We sold to open the trade when the price or index number was up here. Then, when the market drops down to a nice profit point, the target we have set, we let the computer close, or we click the buy button to close the trade and buy the stock back, again to close. We absolutely must buy back to close every short trade. The difference between what we received when we sold up here and what we had to pay to buy back down here is our profit on the short trade. Again, if the market turns against us after we've entered a short trade and price action is moving up, we've got a decision to make. Do we gamble that the market is going to turn back around and go back down, hopefully below where we sold to enter, enabling us to finally realize a profit? Or do we make a decision to close to minimize our loss? I realize that if this is all new to you, you're probably saying, "What?" It really is much simpler than it first appears, and it's what makes trading rather than investing the most profitable part of the stock market. If trading is all new to you, I hope now you can see why only traders can win in either market direction. So back to our two short trade illustrations. The first, a small loser when the market turned back up and we had to make this decision to hit the close button to keep our loss to a minimum. And the other, the market continued moving down after we had entered short here, and it eventually hit our target of 6 points. With our trade being 3 E-mini contracts, 6 points gave us 72 ticks. At $5 each, a nice $360 profit for the short trade. The software indicators NinjaTrader provides us work so well. Learn to read them, react to them, and manage the trade once in it, and there's no limit to how much one can make trading E-minis.
I have several students whom I helped get started who are much better traders than me. If I told you the kind of money they make, you wouldn't believe me. Speaking of believing, would you believe that
Each of the chart indicators I introduce you to
have an accuracy rate of 70 to 80% at showing us where the market is headed, giving us about a 60-second window to make a decision and react? Those odds, coupled with good trade management skill, once in a trade, is what makes E-mini trading so profitable and fun. Each morning, when I finish trading, I type details and take a picture of that day's trading chart, showing the trades I made and the results. I then go over each trade carefully, analyzing my decisions, learning from any mistakes. I told you in the beginning that we E-mini traders have a daily goal, our business model, to make $500 a day. Bear in mind, I've been doing this since early February 2002. So my average daily result is usually a little more than $500. And yes, there are days when I don't make that much, and I even have an occasional losing day. Everyone will.
But please pay special attention to this. Max Down Day is a critical part of my psychological trading plan. I encourage every trader friend to set his or her maximum amount that they can comfortably afford to risk or lose. If I hit it with the sum total of my trades reaching my max down amount, I close my NinjaTrader chart and I'm done for the day. If I were to allow myself to gamble, letting losses go, I've seen some traders lose $3,000, $4,000, even as much as $5,000, telling themselves, that is, hoping the market is going to turn around and they can end up a winner. Telling themselves, if I quit, it's a big loss. An experience like that can do much damage to a trader's mind, emotions, and psyche. Having a predetermined max down that one can both afford and handle, knowing that he or she can make it back, the experience is not going to interfere with a good night's sleep. Yes, there will be losses.
But we manage each trade so as to never lose more on one trade than we know we can make back on the next trade. If one manages risk well, the profits will be there. Oh, by the way, did I tell you that we have a trade open on average for only a couple of minutes or so? It's an obvious fact that the shorter the time your money is exposed in the market, the safer it is. That's why we call this scalping the market. We make 4, 5, maybe 6 trades per morning.
I like to rise early and trade from 5 to 7 a.m. Mountain.
But one can trade around the clock in the several E-mini markets.
Do you see how and why E-mini trading could work for anyone?
Do you see why I feel that learning to do this could be such a blessing for each of our wounded warriors? Why I believe that even with their severe handicaps, they could do this. After what you guys and gals have gone through, you show us all what real determination is. You are not only survivors, you are an inspiration to everyone. I know you have what it takes to become successful e-mini traders. I want to give each wounded warrior who contacts me a free copy of my book, Discover How to Turn Clicks into Cash. It's not a boring technical manual. Instead, I've written it as a journalist, sharing my experiences as I learned, the things that were profitable for me, and yes, even the mistakes I made. I even put considerable humor into it also. You'll find it fun to read. Nothing pleases me more or is more fulfilling than getting a letter or an email back expressing heartfelt thanks for what I've introduced someone to. Oh, how I'm loving doing this now for our wounded warriors. I so pray that my efforts can become a life-saving source of hope for some of them. I hope each wounded warrior can see himself in this picture.
And I hope that you can see what a great little home business e-mini trading can be for anyone.
I've put together a total package of information for my readers to get started. Some of my students started calling it their roadmap. I like that. What would a book like this be worth? What would you be willing to pay for a textbook through which you could learn new skills, giving you the capability to make the kind of money you've seen here in this video? Given the possibilities you've seen, wouldn't anyone want to take a shot at something like this?
Now, if you've decided that learning to trade e-minis is something you would like to do, and you would like to get a copy of my book and be added to my group of special friends, every morning when I finish trading, I make available to each special friend screen pictures of the trades I've taken. Being able to see my daily trades, they can compare them to theirs. Each is invited to email me his or her trades, which I review and offer back comments and suggestions. All of my help from the digital copy of my book, including a USB on which are how-to videos I've made, walking you through everything from setting up your trading chart to interpreting details of each indicator that we'll be using in making good decisions of when it's optimum to click your mouse, both entering and exiting your trades. A wealth of information and help for you, all for a one-time investment of just $19. The tutorial videos on your USB will walk you through every step of becoming an e-mini trader. From opening your trading account with NinjaTrader Brokerage to downloading and installing your live market charts with the free indicators I and my friends use. I've tried to think of everything you'll need to become an e-mini trader. Now, I realize that I've given you a lot of information that may be totally new to you, since the e-mini is still much unknown to the general public. But would you agree with me that e-mini trading looks like it could be a nice little, let's call it a home business? I would never want to sit in front of my computer for hours watching a live chart of market action. Instead, I discovered a way to spend no more than 2 hours, many mornings a single hour, to capture 3 or 4 little trades and put my daily wage goal of something like $500 into my trading account. NinjaTrader makes it very easy for me to move money to my checking account. Think about how this opportunity is going to be there every morning as long as there's a stock market. Nobody will or could ever be denied access. Discrimination is impossible. It's just computers all over the world talking to the Chicago Mercantile Exchange's big Globex computer, where all orders come in via the internet and get executed. First come, first served. The results flash back to both the buyer and seller, or seller and buyer, in a microsecond. I've been helping people discover this for some time without charging them the hefty sums that so many gurus ask. I make enough with just my own few trades each morning for all the money I need. My great reward is seeing someone I've helped become a successful e-mini trader themselves. So, if this has caught your eye and you'd like to see what you could do with it, go ahead and take the $19 plunge. Oh, would you please subscribe to my YouTube channel and share it with your friends. I wish I could now just invite you to click this buy button that would take you to my PayPal ordering page, but YouTube does not accommodate a buy button in a video. So I have to ask you to email me, and I'll be able to give you the direct link that will take you directly to my PayPal ordering page. You'll be able to place your order immediately. When you email me, please include your snail mail address so I can send your USB of how-to videos to you. Please subscribe and click the like and share buttons. If you'd like to leave a comment, I'd love to hear from you and what you think. Thanks for watching.
Hi, my name's Sydney Johnston. I am from Texas, West Texas right now. And I started this in about May 2009. And I had a friend who gave me a book. And he said, read this book. So it was Mel Hardman's book. I've had ups, I've had downs, but within 4 months, I'm hitting 3 times my daily goal. And I'll tell you, if a 68-year-old woman can do this, anyone can do it.
I hope e-mini trading sounds intriguing to you. I would love to welcome you to the exciting world of e-mini trading.